Hey everybody, it's XL 10 Minute Leaders Live. My name's Graham Brown. A big part of leadership is being able to connect with people, to speak fearlessly in public, to talk on shows like this, and to network. So, to help us do that better, I'm joined by, all the way from San Francisco, Roseann Galvan. Roseann, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here. So, in 10 minutes, I hope that we're going to learn a bit about public speaking, connecting, networking, and being better at it, especially in this environment, which has been thrust upon us in the last couple of years. So, we've got 10 minutes together. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
All right, then, Roseann, 10 minutes starts now. At the top, what does it say on your business card?
My business card says a title that somebody gave me, and I don't think they were being nice, and that is Communication Czar.
Czar. So
CZAR. Yes.
a grand term.
It
So
is a
what is
grand.
it? It is. You've owned it. So what
I've
do you
owned it.
do?
Yeah, well, this goes way back when I was doing a group training, and I do a lot of public speaking training, and not everybody's game to see me. I mean, they might like me one-on-one, but they don't really like to go to my training program. So I had heard somebody kind of off in the distance saying, "Oh, it's that communication czar again," and I was like, "Wow, okay, I'll take that." They may not have meant it in a nice way, but I was like, "Yes, I'll take it." So I've taken that, and I've had some fun with it. It's the name of my podcast as well. And I don't think I'm a communication czar. I think I work on it, but I do like to share the good news about communications and whatever I can do. And I love the subject.
What are the big problems that people have right now? I mean, the last 15, 16 months, we've all been thrust into the world of Zoom, work from home. But this has just kind of accentuated a lot of the communications challenges we've had in business and personal lives as well. What are the main problems at the top of the list that people are facing?
Well, right now, the problem is that people are forgetting quantity over quality. So we feel like, oh, well, we're on Zoom all day. We just keep it on and we see each other all the time. But the quality is not there. There's so much to be gained from one-on-one interactions with a work team. You have that casual conversation. Maybe you're going up in the elevator and you just have some quiet time and to be one-on-one with someone. And now we're lacking those in teams. The team may be together on a Zoom all day, but the one-on-one, just the private conversation that you wouldn't normally have in a public forum, those are lacking, and that's causing people to feel more disjointed than ever.
Are we losing the art of small talk
Oh, we lost it a long time ago.
already?
In general,
Whatever happened? Is that a good thing? Like, we can just get straight to the point. We've got a 15-minute Zoom call, hang out with the team. Boom, there you go. Get the job done, move on. Surely it's much more optimized.
Yeah, it may be more optimized, but it may not be, or is not, I would say, more optimal. If you were think about it, if you were having a dinner party, would you rush everybody in and give them the main course? Or would you have some appetizers and some drinks and kind of get into the frame of mind and sit down and go through all the niceties that you would have at a dinner party and then enjoy the meal together? Or would you just bring out the roast and just jump right in? No, of course not. And so there was so much to be gained from those little conversations, the side conversations, or even the casual group conversation before a meeting may adjourn. You're kind of getting together and people talking about their weekend, whatever's going on in their personal life. There's so much to be gained from that. And so much of connectivity comes from that. We bring our whole selves to work. So we have to acknowledge that. Now, if we're fully optimized and we're getting on our Zoom and just getting right to it, we're missing that layer that really brings us together.
Yeah, it's almost we've underestimated the importance of the small things, haven't we? That really
Absolutely.
help us connect
Yes.
and help us communicate better. There is a reason we have small talk, isn't there? Something I'm not very good at. I'm not very good at small talk, Roseann. So I'm hoping you can teach me in 2 minutes how to master this and get better, or just like the loose connections in business where yes, we can talk about presentations and so on, but just like those moments when you're in the elevator or you're waiting for a meeting or, after, I think the classic one is after the meeting. When a meeting closes and you've got that sort of walk to the door together to go out the meeting room.
Right.
sometimes it can be really clumsy and
It can
people
be
don't know
really,
what to say. So
yes.
I'll give you 2 minutes. What can you teach us as the audience, how we can really be comfortable and master those scenarios?
Well, think about building on common grounds. So if you've just coming from a meeting, you can talk about what just went on because that's the obvious thing, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with obvious, but then getting a little deeper and showing some interest in the person. We all love to talk about ourselves. It's okay to ask people about themselves. Do you have any good vacations planned? What are you doing on the weekend? People like to talk about themselves, but you have to give them the entree. And then don't just ask the one question, but ask the follow-up question. You want to think about it as playing catch. You don't want to be a ball hog, right? So you don't want to hold the ball all the time. You want to share the ball, ask them a question. They respond, they throw the ball back to you, ask them a follow-up question. What ends up happening is we do too much surface level. Oh, what are you doing for the weekend? Oh, I'm going to, San Luis Obispo. Oh, good for you. Yeah. Whereas, oh, really? What's there? Oh, I've never been there. What's your favorite thing to do there? People love to give opinions. So, oh, what's your favorite restaurant down there? Well, what kind of food do you like? And we're going, we're in a meeting. It's time for lunch. They're heading off in your separate ways. Oh, what's your dream lunch? What would you really like to have for lunch? Oh, really? How often do you get that? So asking the first question, which is an opinion question, and then the follow-up question, which would be related to that, a little more detail, or using the words, tell me about your briefcase. Where did you get that? Tell me about your weekend. Tell me where that coat came from. Tell me where you got that. So people, as soon as you say, tell me, I'm not going to give you a one-word answer. I'm going to elaborate, and I'm going to give you a little piece of me, share a little piece of me with you. And all of a sudden that does a lot to connect us.
These are great tips. How do you then answer that probably the most feared question for a lot of people in networking and business? What do you do?
Well, you want to think about, first of all, who you work with and what you do to help them. So if you said, what do you do? Instead of saying, giving a title, because that, first of all, the title can mean many things in many different situations. But a title is a dead end. It's sort of like, oh, I'm an office manager. Oh, I'm a project manager. Okay. I'm a corporate consultant. Oh. That doesn't give us anything else. If you say, I help business people connect. Ooh, okay. Oh, really? How does that work? Then it leads to follow-up questions. If you don't talk about who you're working with or what you do for them, then you're just generic. The conversation's going to stop. We want to start a conversation, right? Maybe this person might be your ideal client. Maybe they may know someone who could be your ideal client. So say who you work with and what you do for those people.
How do you take something like an office manager, for example, and make that interesting? Because I'm sure they're feeling, it's just not interesting. It's boring.
Exactly, right? So, a lot of
people have that. It's not exciting like you. Like, how do you then turn that into something that's engaging?
So you say, I help get projects out on time. I help busy executives meet their deadlines. I help a sales team get to their sales meetings on time. I help people reach their goals. What do you actually do for those people? Instead of hiding behind the title, what is it you do and who do you do it for? It's a lot more engaging. Oh, really? How do you do that? I keep the reports. I do whatever. I keep people. Keep people out of jail by filing their taxes, whatever it is. But it's a little more interesting when you personalize it. Because then they think, oh, I get it. I get the visual to it. And you want to think about the senses. Like if you can paint a picture for someone, if you can give them some detail. Oh, I keep the piles of bills from piling up too high. Oh, okay. You might just be a clerk who pays the outgoing mail, pays the outgoing bills. But now all of a sudden I think about the bills piling up, and I can visualize.
Yeah, that creates a connection, right?
Right.
Once you can create a story in somebody's head, a picture, we get it.
And then they're going to remember you.
Well, that's important because if you go to an event or you go to a meeting and you do this a lot, chances are you won't remember anybody.
No.
And that's the challenge, right?
But you mentioned about the business cards earlier. When somebody gives you a business card, look at it. It's this funny thing. People hand out business cards. Oh, okay, thank you very much. And if you take the time to actually look at the business card and then look back at the person, you will have a much higher chance of remembering who they are when you get home and you have a stack. If you've just gone to a conference and you have a stack of business cards, I'm much more likely to remember you if, when you give it to me, I look at it, look back at you. Now I have the visual, I picture the face, and I have it connected to the card or the logo, and then I'm much more likely to remember you when I get home and I have a whole stack.
Yeah, and ask questions about what's on the card. Oh, you're
Right.
based up in San Jose. Oh,
Right.
do you know these people, or you grew up there? Where are you from originally? Like, creating that connection, I think, is really important, isn't it? And then even if the information they give you is not that useful or important, the point is that it creates a memory, and also it gives opportunities to take those conversations in different ways, which
Right. It's all about the connection. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. How useful that is in this day and age when we seem to, well, all this technology can make us lazy in many ways.
Yeah.
Like you say, the quantity versus quality as well. That's Roseann Galvan, everybody. Where do we find out more about you, Roseann?
Well, you can check out my podcast, Communication Czar, aptly named, and also communicationczar.com is the website for the podcast. You'll find me there.
Yeah, get some great tips as well. Roseann, thank you for joining us on Excel 10-Minute Leaders Live today. It's a real pleasure. And thank you for sharing a little bit about your world and your work with us in a very needy time as well.
My pleasure. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, well, exactly. Thank you, Roseann.